Good evening and welcome to Salif Field in Collinsville, Oklahoma, where tonight the Collinsville Cardinals take on the Coweta Tigers in a District 5A 4 matchup. I'm joined by my partner Logan Wilton. I'm Casey Price, and we expect a very good game tonight on an unusual Thursday night game, Logan.
Yeah, we're going to see a totally different offense by Collinsville tonight, having Zane McElroy back, and he will start at quarterback, and Marcus Redwine, who we saw at the end of the Central game, the second half of the Central game, will start at running back tonight.
Yes, Collinsville came back to beat Central last Friday night as they scored 20 unanswered points in the second half to come up victorious in that game. Really didn't have much going on offense at all in the first half. The coaches elect to put Marcus Redwine in to start the second half, and he really kick-started the offense.
Yeah, he really, like you said, came out and just ran like a possessed man, and he was getting like 6 or 7 yards a carry, and he looked really good.
Yeah, it kind of gave new life to Brandon Lowe, who started at quarterback last week for the Cardinals, and gave that read option that the Cards like to run so much a little bit better success, having a running back who came in and was getting some yardage. I would expect that we will still see many carries tonight by Haymaker, Ryan Haymaker, who has started all season at that position. Ryan Haymaker does also start at the safety position on the defensive side of the ball, so he is fine, no injuries to report there. Just going to put in Marcus Redwine, see if he kind of carries that momentum from last week into the game. All right, we are going to join the public announcer with the national anthem. As you can see by the lack of movement in the flag, there is very little wind this evening, maybe 5 miles per hour, and it's blowing out of the southwest, and it's a cool 65 degrees, perfect football weather in Oklahoma. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Collinsville defense, and we'll be back with that momentarily.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
We're back at Salif Field in Collinsville, Oklahoma, where the captains are about to meet at midfield and the spirit line is forming. Logan, we know the offense is going to look a little bit different tonight. What about the defense?
Well, I expect to see the same thing out of Justin Cothey that we've seen all season, and that's get in the backfield and disrupt plays. Defensive backs should come out and hopefully play as good as they have been playing. Our defense needs to get off and get to a good start early with no points in the first half, because our offense last week had trouble scoring, so it's going to be difficult for the offense to score, or for the offense to catch up if our defense doesn't show up today.
All right, captains tonight for the Cardinals include the returning quarterback, Zane McElroy, Dylan Cook, wide receiver, and the two linemen, Cole Kime and Jackson Dew. Let's talk about the keys to the game, Logan. Let's start with offense. I know number one priority will be Zane McElroy behind that offensive line.
Yeah, we need to protect him tonight because he, coming off a shoulder surgery, he's going to be a little timid back in the backfield. So hopefully our offensive line shows up tonight and they keep him protected.
Looks like Coweta will receive the ball, so the Cardinals will get it to start the second half. What about the defensive keys to the game?
Forced turnovers. I talked to Coach Redding earlier, and he said that's a big part in what we need to do tonight if we want to be successful and come out with a W.
All right, well, the captains are headed back to the helmet so the team can rush the field. And we are just about 10 seconds away from supposed kickoff. This is an important game tonight. It's easy to feel like it's not a regular game night because it's on a Thursday night. You haven't had school for 2 days. There's not going to be near as many people in the stadium tonight, although it does look like the Collinsville fans, there's a decent amount of people here on the home side. But the visiting team's bleachers are a little sparse. The Coweta Tigers do come into tonight with a 2-4 record. Their two victories come against Bishop Kelly and Tahlequah last week, so they are coming off a win, which can be nice for teams having momentum coming into the game. Collinsville, as you know, comes in with a 4-2 record, so the records are flopped there. But as you mentioned, this Coweta team is not your regular 2-4 team.
Yeah, I talked to some of the players this week, and they said they are the best 2-4 team in the state, so props to Coweta.
They opened their season with Wagner and lost 2-21, so their defense played pretty well in that game, but their offense wasn't able to put points up. That has not been a problem for their offense since that game, as they were able to put up 48 points in their win over Bishop Kelly, lost to Pryor by 41-42. Lost to East Central 33-40, and then last week beat Tahlequah 32-13. So the defense will be big tonight. Can they keep this offense off of the field? And what I mean by that is getting those 3-and-outs, getting crucial stops, and get their own offense back on the field. I like that the coaches have decided to defer once again to the second half, as they have done all season when they won the coin toss. That'll give Zane McElroy a little bit more time to warm up on the sidelines and give their defense an opportunity to get a stop early in the game.
It looks like Austin Roberts will kick off for the Cardinals tonight. This season it's usually been Sergio Perez, but Coach D changing it up and putting in one of the sophomores on this Cardinal football team.
All right, folks, we are underway. A little squib kick. Nice roll there. Cardinals had an opportunity to get to that as all Coweta Tigers kind of got out of the way. They will have really good field position to start the game as a result of that kick. Looks like the ball will be downed at the 33-yard line of the Cardinals.
And so we will get to see the defense first, and hopefully they come out and get a 3-and-out, and we get to see Zane's first snap as a senior.
You know, the majority of the kicks of this season seem like they've been down at the 30 to 35-yard line anyway when Sergio Perez kicking, so that time just a different style of kick, ending up in the same spot essentially. That run good for about 4 yards by the Tigers. Quarterback number 13, Ryan Fitzsimmons, kept it on the carry.
Coach Redding said earlier that one of the keys to the game was stop the run game, so hopefully the Cardinals can get off the field quickly.
Loading the box are the Cardinals this time. Ball goes to the running back. He'll be brought down by Josh Arnold, who's leading the Cardinals in tackles this season, and Levi Draper assisted.
They just ran the Wildcat there.
Oh, did they direct snap to Caleb Wheeler?
Yeah, they had number 5 back there, and he took the snap.
Looks like he's kind of running the quarterback position here. Takes the snap again, this time a little high. Runs to his right, has some space, runs over number 25. That's Ryan Haymaker, who will get credited with the tackle, and that'll move the chains for the Tigers. Do you like this offense, Logan?
Yeah, Coweta is just going to try to grind Collinsville down the field and hopefully put 7 on the board.
Starting on defense in the lineman position is Kime, Brown, and Kothi, like we mentioned. Keenan Hamilton, who is labeled as an outside linebacker, the Cardinals like to just bring him up to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't get in a stance, but they bring him almost every time, so it kind of works out to be similar to a 4-3. This time the snap is bobbled in the backfield. Hamilton is there for a tackle. That is going to be a loss of about 15 for Coweta on the bad snap.
Hamilton did the little suplex there, bringing down the Coweta ball carrier.
That was a loss of 10. Excuse me, I called it 15. I was wishful hoping. It looks like they will keep Fitzsimmons in this time. So the throwing option is alive. Blitz coming. Quick pass is complete. Levi Draper there and Ryan Haymaker as well for the tackle. They'll probably have 9 on the throw. So it'll be 3rd and 12 to maybe 11 yards. And a good pass completion there to get themselves in a more manageable 3rd down.
So Collinsville has a chance to get off the field, and we will see if they take advantage of that.
Big size advantage here on the wide receiver closest to us, Logan, number 81. John Wright, a lot bigger than Dylan Cook. Looks like the quarterback's just going to keep it, and he'll be tackled for only a yard or 2, which will force Coweta to punt, and a good job by the defense. Doing just what we talked about, getting a quick 3 and out, going to give their quarterback an opportunity, and everybody's eyes are on number 4 to see how he returns to the game this evening.
Brandon Lowe will be back to catch the punt, and he will be able to field this, hopefully.
He does. Nice cut there, and a good job by Brandon, getting about 5 yards on the reception when it was 4 Coweta Tigers down there to make a tackle. So a good job by the young man to get what yardage he did. Ball will be on the 21-yard line for the Cardinals' first possession.
So Zane McElroy takes the field.
See if they go big early. It'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him throw a deep ball early. Instead, they run the quarterback read, and he's tackled pretty late after it there. It was a soft tackle, thank goodness, but that's got to be something that's going to have the referee's attention, because when he doesn't have the ball, extracurricular stuff like that is something he's going to want no part of. That run was good for 3 yards. Again, Marcus Redwine, the junior running back, getting the start tonight. McElroy keeping it this time, and he'll have no yards on the carry and tackled by quite a few members of the Coweta defense. He did get a couple of yards on that, so it's going to be 3rd and 5. McElroy has 3 wide receivers to his left, TJ Johnson on his right. Might be double coverage over there. Looks like the safety's pretty aware of Johnson, and he is. McElroy looks left, throws for Cook. Oh, and it's incomplete. The defender kind of got a hand on it. The ball still made it through into Cook's arms, and he just wasn't able to wrap it up. I imagine that's because the ball changed trajectory late, but still in his arms. A nice toss there by McElroy.
Yeah, so he throws his first pass of the night, and it seems to be a pretty good one.
So McElroy will have to punt. Fitzsimmons along with, is that 18? Oh, Cardinals able to draw Coweta off sides here.
So it looks like it's going to be 4th and 1.
Well, if it was 3rd and 5, and they get 5 yards on it, it should be a first down. I don't know if they're going to measure or what their plan is.
And it will be a first down.
Okay, that was the only thing that made sense to me. All right. So the Cardinals get a first down here. Colton Conover is starting at center for the Cardinals, as he has been since the Oologah game.
I talked to Chris Kaleem, the injured center, before the game, and he said he's in a shoulder brace right now, or a sling, and he said he will be back in 1.5 to 2 weeks, or he will be out of the sling. Optimistic to play.
It looks like the officials are going to go ahead and measure. Pretty indecisive on what they want to do, and it is a first down. So the chain gang will head back to the sideline.
So we have trips to the left, TJ to the right. And most teams haven't double covered TJ Johnson, so seeing Coweta do it, they've kind of been playing pretty smart.
Nice running by Redwine there on the zone read. He gets 8 on the carry, following the blocking of his 3 wide receivers to that side. A good job by the blocking core. Yeah, and I think to your point about the double coverage, we haven't had McElroy in the backfield yet this year, and I think that teams are going to be, we'll probably see double coverage more often now because we have a throwing quarterback back in the game. This time, McElroy in motion right, looking to pass, lobs it up for Tyler Forrest. He catches it. Was he in bounds? No, the official signaled that he wasn't, but what a good catch.
There is a flag on the field.
The Cardinals are signaling that it's against Coweta.
And that was a really good throw by Zane. I was kind of surprised. I thought he overthrew his man, but Tyler Forrest was able to run under it, but he was
It's a personal foul, roughing the passer against the Tigers. That'll be good for another Collinsville first down on another Coweta penalty. That's a 15-yard penalty. So the Cardinals will now have the ball on the 48-yard line in their own territory. This time, then they're in the pistol formation. McElroy hits the option, goes ahead, keeps it up the middle. Stiff arms one guy, and a good job there. There's a real skill, Logan, to how you fall when you're being tackled. And McElroy there just exhibited the way you should fall, especially if you're a quarterback when being tackled. You don't fall on your shoulders. You protect them at all times, and you go down either on your chest or on your back. That time he managed to fall on his back, and I know that seems like a silly thing to talk about, but that was one of the main reasons Sam Bradford was unable to finish his college career, was because he didn't fall right on the when he was being tackled. So a good job there by McElroy. Blitz is coming from McElroy's left. Hands off to Redwine, and he's stuffed immediately. It'll be 3rd and 6 here for the Cardinals.
So we will see what Coach McClure draws up.
Just under 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. McElroy has Keenan Hamilton alone on his left. His normal trips on the right. He's in motion right. Redwine with a nice block, and I think McElroy was a little mixed up with his intended wide receiver, T.J. Johnson there. And it looks like the Cardinals will leave in this grouping. We'll see if they just do a quick punt or if they do go for it on 4th down. Looks like Coweta is not sending anyone back. They will punt. Nice punt by McElroy. See if the Cards can get back and down it. And they do. They get it at the 1. Nice hustle there by T.J. Johnson, keeping the ball out of the end zone. And the remaining of the Cardinal players got down to down it. And, wow, that is an awesome job of punting by the offensive unit.
Mm-hmm.
Not the punting unit.
Mm-mm. So we don't send our special teams unit out there, and it looks like our offense is our special teams unit on that one.
All right. So the Tigers back onto the field. They have had a couple bad snaps this evening. This would be a good time for them to have another if you're a Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
So with the ball at their own 1, Fitzsimmons takes the snap. He's going to keep it. Runs right. Has some room. Turns the corner. Looks like he got 3 or 4 on the carry. He was knocked out of bounds by Dylan Cook. Again, the Cardinals are without starting safety Sean Kacheski. Kacheski also started 5 games this year at the quarterback position. Brandon Lowe started 1 other. It looks like Tyler Forrest is starting on the defense in the safety position. Another run by Fitzsimmons, this time to his left. He has a couple on that, so it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Tigers.
And Draper came up with that tackle, and he's all over the field. As a freshman, he really shows up and plays, and Coach Jones has to be happy and knowing he has him for 3 more years.
Yeah, Levi Draper didn't start the year on the varsity roster, and due to injuries has come in and really has looked like this is where he belonged all along. Another run play, and immediately brought down by Josh Arnold. That'll be a short gain on the carry, and we'll expect a punt here from the Tigers.
So hopefully that means Collinsville will have good field position to start their second drive.
Again, Brandon Lowe back to receive. Nice soaring punt here for the Tigers. Lowe fields it, shakes the man, runs for the sideline, brought down, has a few yards. And the Cardinals this time will start with the ball in their own territory. I think it'll be at about the 37. And the Cardinals really taking advantage, their defense rewarding the offense for that previous possession, and the offense managing to get Coweta down in their own 1. Let's see if they can end this drive with some points. Starting on the offensive line tonight, we mentioned the center, Conover. Cole Kime, Jake Douglas, Jackson Dew, and Cutler Cole on the line as well. Marcus Redwine remains the back. It's the quarterback's going to keep it, running right. Good run by McElroy. There is a flag on the play.
I think it's going to be on Collinsville.
McElroy's running with some confidence. I don't really see him looking like he's iffy on these carries.
So the penalty will be holding against Collinsville, and that'll bring him back 5 yards.
I believe that's a
Yeah.
10-yard penalty from
Yeah,
the
you're
spot
right.
of the foul. So it'll be first and about 20 here for the Cardinals. McElroy looks to pass, quick pass to Cook, and a nice gain there by Dylan Cook. That looks like it was good for about 13 yards on the completion. McElroy's, is that the first completion he's had on the evening?
Yes, it is.
All right, so 2nd and 8 now for the Cardinals. This time another run, lots of blocking. McElroy goes through, looks like he's brought down close to the first down marker. He's going to be about a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and 1. And I believe, Logan, that Coach Jones and his coaching staff have elected to no longer use Keenan Priddy on the offensive side of the ball. I think he's going to be strictly defensive end this year, not going to use him as a running back at all because previously this is a position we might see him in. Redwine runs for the hole, and he's immediately brought down by number 9, Jake Northern. I don't know if he's going to have the first down. No, it's another it is 4th down. And it looks like the Cards are going to go for it.
And in this situation last year, we saw them do a quarterback run or a quarterback sneak with Zane McElroy. So I'd like to see him do it again, but he is in shotgun formation.
McElroy does keep nice block by Redwine, giving his quarterback room. And that'll be a first down for the Cardinals. And a really good job there by Redwine, almost working as a fullback every time McElroy's run the ball. He has just really led his quarterback and picked up the first block. Ball on the 22-yard line here for the Cards. 1 minute, 8 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Zane keeps it. He just goes down gracefully.
Yeah, that time Coweta all over the zone read. That was a loss of 3 on the carry.
That was their 10th run play of the game so far. So we talked about that earlier, is how much they're going to run it with Zane in the game, if they're going to be a timid or. But they've come out and they've played like they have been this whole season, and that's run the ball.
So 2nd and 14. McElroy, quick pass is tipped. He was going to T.J. Johnson the whole way there. Number 77, Clark Stunkert with the tip ball. So it'll be 3rd and 13 here for the Cardinals. You got to imagine they're going to once again kind of go for maybe not the whole 13 because they're kind of in 4th down territory, so they're going to try to pick up 5 to 10 on this play, see what they can get on 4th down. McElroy again has T.J. Johnson alone on the right. He's in motion left, gets his feet set, turns, pass incomplete, intended for Dylan Cook.
That looked to go right through his hands. It was a good pass by Zane, though. So
Yeah, he did a good job of going in motion to his left. Got his feet squared, made the pass. It was a little high for Cook, who is on the shorter side, but ball hit him in the hands and he just wasn't able to reel it in. So a long 4th down here for the Cards. Man, I don't know if I don't know. They're going to go for it. It's just tough after you pinned them at the 1 last time. This possession, you might give them pretty decent field position.
It'll kind of be like a kickoff.
All right, McElroy looks to pass. This time again for Dylan Cook, but this time Cook pulls it in, and that'll be good for the 1st down. And McElroy just nailed him in between the numbers. It gave him no choice but to catch it that time. And his arm has looked true to form tonight. So the ball is on the 10. And the 1st down markers have been laid down. And that'll be the end of the 1st quarter as Collinsville has a ball at the 10-yard line and it's 1st and goal. We will take a break and be back for the beginning of the 2nd quarter.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
Welcome back to the beginning of the 2nd quarter where the Cardinals have 1st and goal. Zane McElroy completed a big 4th down pass to Dylan Cook. This time he runs the ball. Looks like he's tackled after a gain of 1.
So it looks to me that they have trips to the left, Keenan Hamilton to the right.
Don't be surprised if you see the fade pass to the big wide receiver. And here it comes. Lobs up. That's going to be interference for sure. Keenan Hamilton caught it anyway. The officials have not signaled touchdown. Instead, they shake their head at Hamilton. Man, McElroy didn't really put that ball. He didn't put any air under that ball. But it will be an interference penalty, which will be half the distance to the goal and repeat the down for the Cardinals. And you got a guy like Keenan Hamilton or T.J. Johnson, just big wide receivers, physical wide receivers that have a really good knack for going and catching a ball. Plays down here in the end zone. If you can get single coverage like that, it just kind of becomes easy.
Yeah.
All right, similar setup here. This time McElroy runs the option, tosses to Redwine. He tries to get in the end zone. And he's going to be just short. It looks like he'll be brought down at the 1-yard line. Tough running there by Redwine and a nice pitch by McElroy. So it'll be 3rd and 1. On 4th and 1 previously, we saw McElroy keep it on a run around the corner, and Redwine came up with a big block. Same thing comes here. This time, Redwine doesn't get the block on the initial linebacker, so it won't be a touchdown. And we'll see what the Cardinals elect to do on 4th down. See if they send Perez in or if they elect to go for it.
And it looks like they have no hesitation to go for it on this 4th down.
With the way their defense has played so far tonight, you really don't have too much to lose pinning them on the 1-yard line again. Play clock at 10 seconds.
Trips to the left, TJ to the right.
Handoff goes to Redwine, and he sneaks in. Good job there by Marcus Redwine, getting small, getting through the line. And the Collinsville Cardinals get the first touchdown of the evening.
So that'll be a 1-yard touchdown run by Marcus Redwine.
Snap back. Perez's kick is up, and he's good once again. So the Cardinals take a 7-0 lead here at the beginning of the second quarter on a really nice drive put together by quarterback Zane McElroy. Had a huge 4th down completion on 4th and 13. A nice pass completed to Dylan Cook, his senior wide receiver. You got to think those two have been hooking up on receptions like that for a long time now. And a really good job by the defense before that, stopping Coweta 3 and out 2 previous possessions. They'll look to do it again here on the upcoming possession.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, was our defense to come out and get multiple stops earlier, and they've done that. And our offense scored the first half, so we've got to be happy as they didn't do that last week.
You know, Zane McElroy is over here on the sideline, and typical when a football player comes off the field, you know, usually getting the pats on the head or the pats on the shoulder pads. Every time he receives one on the shoulder pads, I just like grimace, and it's interesting that I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm sure he's been tackled a few times already tonight.
Yeah.
He's obviously okay, but I always think about that, like with kids who've had concussions as well. Like they'll come to the sideline and everybody's knocking them on the head. I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
All right, so Perez will kick off. And fair catch called for by number 20, Chance Craig. It'll be 1st and 10 for Coweta at the 32-yard line. Linebackers starting this evening include Marcus Tillman, Levi Draper, the freshman we spoke about, Josh Arnold, and Keenan Hamilton, who almost always lines up on the line like he is now. Tillman is also up on the line for this play. Fitzsimmons keeps it, runs up the middle. He'll have a gain of about 4 on the rush. Check that. They gave him 5. The secondary tonight, the 2 defensive backs are TJ Johnson and Dylan Cook. Safeties, Tyler Forrest and Ryan Haymaker. Forrest getting a second start at the safety position after the injury of Sean Kacheski. Fitzsimmons keeps it here, runs left, has some room. Forrest manages to bring Fitzsimmons down. It will be good for a first down, and that is only the second first down of the evening for Coweta. Ball at the 47-yard line for the Tigers.
And our defense basically runs a 4-3 defense when we line, because we always line up Hamilton on the line. So
And Coweta is going to take their first timeout of the half.
Hey, folks, we want to give the Collinsville citizens a big thank you from Collinsville Public Schools for passing our $20 million bond issue by walking.
We'll kind of talk along with what the public announcer is talking about. The bond issue recently passed, Logan, with a remarkable percentage on yes votes.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that the Collinsville citizens came together and passed this bond issue.
Believe it was 84% passage, which is just it's just really rewarding. It's really it's encouraging to know that the community supports what this school wants to do for its students that much. All right, Coweta with the pass. It's complete. Fitzsimmons to number 18, Scotty Grant, his senior wide receiver. Looks like that'll be right at the first down marker. We'll see if they have to measure, if they are going to go ahead and signal. So Coweta kind of putting a drive together here.
That is only the third pass by Coweta so far.
I believe the lead official reminding Wheeler, the Coweta running back, to stay set until the ball is snapped. That time he got a little bit of a jump on it. He gets the handoff this time, and Kothi gets a hand on him, not able to bring him down, but slows him down. And a gang of Cardinals there to complete the tackle. So Wheeler has a gain of about 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Tigers. Interesting when Coweta lines up in anything with their 2 wideouts on the same side. The Cardinals don't move Dylan Cook over to that side. They just keep him on the side so their safeties match up with the wide receiver. Fitzsimmons fakes the handoff, runs right. He'll have a few, so it'll be 3rd and maybe 3 or 4 after that run.
Josh Arnold with the tackle there.
Looks like Coweta has brought in an extra wide receiver, Evan Roniker. He's going to line up on the left along with number 20, Chance Craig. Craig in motion right. Pass is incomplete. Haymaker got a hand on it. Would have been a remarkable catch if he could have come up with it. So it's going to be 4th and 5 for Coweta in an area where they're undoubtedly going to go for it. And well, I say undoubtedly, and of course they bring their punter on the field. With the momentum the Cardinal offense has right now, I think this is definitely the right call by the Tigers. I wouldn't want to give Collinsville that good a field position either. I'd want to make them march. So Brandon Lowe at the 10 to receive. And it's, the kicker kind of ran with it. He was going to make a call on whether he was going to go for it or kick. Elected to kick. And the Cardinals will take over again. Looks like the ball's on the 12-yard line.
So we'll see if this offense can come out and Zane can lead them to another touchdown with 7:37 left in the second half.
Marcus Redwine remains the running back in the game. Another reason it's good to be able to use Redwine is that the 2 other running backs play all evening on the defensive side of the ball, whereas Redwine doesn't. So he should be able to stay more fresh than them. And that's going to be a turnover. Can the Cardinals get the man down? They do not. And Coweta's going to score a defensive touchdown there after a fumbled snap. It looked to be low. And a huge mistake there by the Cardinals, as Coweta will score defensively. Colton Dower is the place kicker for the Tigers. Kicks up, and it is good. So the score goes to 7-7 as Coweta scores on a fumble pickup. Conover over here on the sideline practicing his snaps. And that's just one of the many reasons why coming back to the game is unroutine. I mean, McElroy hasn't taken as many snaps, and, you know, I'm not saying that wasn't his fault. That was a low snap, but just those miscues that a quarterback can have with their center in scenarios like that, and that time a very poor place to have one of those miscues where there was no room for error.
And so our defense hasn't allowed any points, and we'll get to see this offense come right back onto the field. So Collinsville, in their first possession, punted. Second possession had a touchdown. And their third possession turned the ball over. So kind of ups and downs for this offense so far,
Yeah.
which was expected with a new quarterback coming in.
Marcus Tillman receives the kick. He's got room, breaks through tackles, still on his feet. He's at the 50 before he's brought out of bounds. And a fabulous return there by Marcus Tillman as he just hit the ground running after he fielded that kick. So Tillman gives his offense really nice field position here, gets them far away from that end zone.
And so hopefully if we have a turnover here, it doesn't result in a touchdown.
Ryan Haymaker is the back now into the game. First time checking into the game on the offensive side of the ball. See if the young man has a little zip to his run this evening. He gets the ball, runs up the middle. Looks like he has 6 yards on the run. On a good run there by Haymaker. And a good job by his offensive line creating some space. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Cardinals. Marcus Redwine did appear to come up a little gimpy from the previous play, and he's getting stretched on the sideline over here. From the shotgun, McElroy this time looks to pass, intended for Cook once again, and he completes it this time on this second reception of the evening. That one good for another Cardinal first down.
It looks like Redwine might have pulled a muscle there. Or is cramping up like he did last game.
I find it interesting, McElroy's return. Really, you would think that the wide receivers he would target the most would be Johnson and Hamilton, the guys he hooked up with a lot last year. Instead, Dylan Cook's been his number one target this evening. This time he breaks up through the middle. Will he get to the end zone? He's at the 5, and he's got it. Zane McElroy right through the middle on a 34-yard rushing touchdown. The senior quarterback gets his first points of the evening and of the season. The entire defense went for for Haymaker on the zone read, and McElroy just saw green everywhere he looked, right through the middle all the way to the end zone.
So it's going to be encroachment on Coweta. Collinsville is going to decline.
So Sergio Perez with Brandon Lois Holder is good once again. Looks like Perez had some contact after the kick, which Coach Jones is going to need some explanation on. So the Cardinals go 14-7 now after first down pass completion to Dylan Cook and then a McElroy 34-yard touchdown run. Nice offense so far tonight from the Cardinals. See if the defense can keep up their nice play as well.
Yeah, and last week our defense allowed 12 points in the first half, but this week they haven't allowed any. The touchdown resulting in a turnover by the offense.
Redwine is coming out on the kickoff team here, so he seems to be okay. Maybe just a cramp. He was kind of holding either his hip or somewhere in his higher thigh region after that play where he came off limping. So hopefully he's just kind of having some cramp issues there and no major injury. Sergio Perez will be the kicker. And this one's going to be fielded. Oh!
Collinsville has it.
He didn't signal fair catch, did he?
He did, but he muffed it.
Oh, okay. It looked like a Cardinal interfered with him.
Keenan Hamilton came up with the ball there.
Let's see if the officials are going to talk this over. Like I said, I thought that one of the Cardinal players touched the guy fielding the ball, and Logan shakes his head, no, definitely not. So we'll see if the officials agree with Logan, which we hope they do.
The refs taking a moment to make sure they get this right.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big call with 6 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the half. This could be a big momentum call for the Cardinals if they get the ball back here in their own territory. Coweta does have their defense on the field. Here comes the official signal.
They're going to give Coweta the ball.
Now, that should, if they give Coweta the ball, that has to be a penalty against the Cardinals as well. You can't just give Coweta the ball before calling a penalty on the Cardinals for interference with the receiving member of the Coweta special teams.
Then why was there no flag thrown on the play?
That's the question. I mean, right now you would think that the officials would have to drop a flag and make the official call. They'll have to make an official call one way or the other, but there's still no flags on the field, and the ball is currently marked at the spot where the Coweta guy had the ball.
Which I thought if you fair caught it, but it's a muff and you cannot return that, but you can recover it. That's what my assumption of what just happened was. But maybe if you call fair catch, anything that you do with it.
And Coach Jones is obviously trying to get better clarification on what the issue is here, as we all are. And
they are marking it off, the penalty. And that was, he walked on.
They're gonna re-kick is what they're gonna do, Logan.
I've never seen this before. What?
Well, I imagine that's what the penalty would allow Coweta to decide to do, whether they wanted to re-kick or give possession over to the Cardinals would be my guess. So they're going to obviously elect to re-kick, and so we'll see the whole thing again.
Coweta catches a break there. I've never seen this before. I know when we return punts, if you call fair catch and you muff it, then you're allowed to recover it. But there has to be more than just that because they wouldn't re-kick it.
No, I mean, it has to be that the Collinsville player interfered with the intended, I keep wanting to say intended, with the Tiger who was receiving the ball. And in that case, there would be a penalty against Collinsville, and Coweta would elect whether to accept or decline, and accepting obviously means re-kicking. So Sergio Perez going to do it again, kicks in the same direction, and he didn't signal fair catch. He's going to be brought down at the 30. And I keep wondering why this young man's even fielding that when it's so close to the out of bounds.
Yeah.
I mean, if he lets that go out of bounds, Coweta's going to have the ball at the 45 instead of the 30. I don't know. I guess it's close enough that it looks like it could bounce inbounds. And if it bounces inbounds, those Cardinals are in close enough vicinity that I guess it would be dangerous. So they're going to go ahead and field it. All right, so Fitzsimmons in the backfield, hands off to Wheeler, who runs left. Flag on the play as Levi Draper, along with Cole Kime and Josh Arnold, were on the tackle.
It is a holding, I believe, on Coweta.
So that'll move the Tigers 10 yards back.
Holding is a call against the Tigers.
That is their fourth penalty of the night. And all four of those penalties resulting in 35 yards.
All right, so it'll be first and about 18 here for Coweta. Fitzsimmons has two wideouts in. Tight end in as well. He's in motion. Gonna run up middle. Nice running there by Fitzsimmons. And that'll be good for a gain of 10 to 12 yards. And that'll put him, along with his Tiger offense, at second and about 8 or 7. It looks like more like 7. And Josh Arnold's going to check out here. Chase Lorg, the freshman linebacker, is going to check in for him, as Coach Jones wanted to talk to his starting linebacker. Fitzsimmons this time hands off to Wheeler. Got lots of room, runs up middle, has the first down. Dylan Cook and Tyler Forrest in on the tackle.
Cole Kime comes off the field.
Douglas in for him, and Arnold back into the game as well. Wheeler gets a handoff again. This time not quite as much going as the defensive line there to stuff that run play. It might be a gain of a yard on the play.
Gain of 2 on the play. They'll bring it second down and 8 for the Tigers.
Keenan Hamilton lined up on the line of scrimmage, as well as Marcus Tillman over on the left. Handoff again is to Wheeler, running to run middle. Justin Cothe stands him up, and play is called dead as Wheeler never got brought down, and it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Tigers.
Gain of 3 on the play. They'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers.
So Coweta brings in some wide receivers. They do have a tight end. That's number 34. He lines up over on the right side. That's Sam Dawes. He's a junior. Fitzsimmons looks right, pump fake, overthrows his intended target, and there's going to be a flag on the play.
I don't agree with that call. It was an uncatchable ball. So
Yeah, and it looked like the T.J. Johnson was the defender, and it looked like they both went up at the same time as the ball got there. Now, the offensive player never got to touch the ball because it was overthrown, and it kind of seemed to me like Johnson timed it perfectly. He made contact with the wide receiver as the ball flew over their outstretched hands. But unfortunately for Collinsville, it doesn't matter what we think, and it'll be a first down for the Tigers. I mean, there was definitely contact there. but
Yeah.
it just didn't seem like it was. It seemed like it was well timed. Marcus Tillman comes on the blitz. Pass is thrown up the middle, incomplete. Sophomore Marcus Tillman given the big number 77, Clark Stunkard, the senior lineman, all he could handle there. Marcus Tillman, sophomore, he only weighs 150, given the big lineman all he can handle. Looks like Coweta will stay with their package that has wide receivers. New back into the game, number 15, Jacob Phillips. Wide receiver in motion, high snap, fake the handoff to him. Fitzsimmons runs right. TJ Johnson in on to try to make a tackle, does not. Fitzsimmons gets a couple more on the run. And there's a Cardinal slow to get up over on the sideline. That is number 45, Justin Cothe. Cole Kime going to check back into the game here. Relieve Jake Douglas. See if Cothe can shake off whatever it is that's slowing him down over there. Handoff goes to Wheeler. He's got a first down. And he's a hard running back to bring down. And he's going to have, looks like 10 or 15 yards on that carry. Austin Roberts is going to check in on the for the defense here. This is the first time we'll see Roberts this year. He's going to give Keenan Hamilton a quick break.
So it looks like our defense is starting to wear down.
Blitz coming. Austin Roberts on it. Wheeler runs away from the blitz and has another first down. And, man, he just bulldozes over the Cardinals who are trying to make the tackle.
Looked to me that like TJ Johnson was run over on that play. And you rarely see that because TJ is a pretty big player for this Collinsville team.
First and goal now from the 7, going to Wheeler again, and why not? Walks into the end zone pretty much untouched. So Coweta gets a nice drive going there. 3 minutes left on the clock in this half as Wheeler gets many handoffs and rewards his coaches and teammates with 6.
So with this extra point, it will tie the game up at 14-all.
Fitzsimmons, the quarterback, is the holder. Dower is the kicker. Haymaker looked like he might get in there for the block just a couple seconds late. And Coweta will tie the score up here, 14-14. And we'll see if McElroy can put together a drive, score some points before the Cardinals go into half. Now, they will receive the ball to begin the second half as well.
So with 3 minutes left, hopefully that means that they have enough time to drive down the field and get into the end zone. But they do have that safety cushion of knowing they get the ball at the second half.
Dylan Cook is back to receive. Marcus Tillman, Ryan Haymaker back as well. Tillman received the last kick and returned it all the way to the 50. See if Tillman's targeted again here. It's going to sail over his head. Cook's going to field it. Nice job by Cook there, avoiding one tackle. Looks like he gets the ball to the 30 on about a 15-yard return there by Dylan Cook.
So this offense takes the field after a touchdown last drive. And that possession for Coweta was a pretty long possession. As we remember, they had that turnover or the fumble, which resulted in a re-kick, and they drove the ball down the field slowly but surely.
Ryan Haymaker stays the back. Quick pass to TJ Johnson. Nice yak there by TJ. Probably had 3 yards after the catch. It looks like he did not manage to get out of bounds. I don't know that that's a huge thing to be concerned with at this point. Actually, you might want to eat up some clock because you do still have 2 timeouts, and you definitely don't want to give the Tigers the ball back before the end of the half.
Trips to the right, TJ to the left. The handoff is to Haymaker.
He's going to try to get out of bounds there. Oh, still avoiding tackles. It looks like they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 48. And there is Ryan Haymaker showing you his speed. Man, he was just running what looked to be straight for the sideline there. And he outran about 3 Coweta defenders, then turned upfield and got about 6 yards on the carry after that. Just barely tiptoed out of bounds, or else he'd still be running now.
Yeah.
Dylan Cook, the solo wide out to McElroy's right. Fakes the handoff to Haymaker, passes to Cook. He's got him, and he's complete! And it's a touchdown! Dylan Cook! A 48-yard touchdown reception there, 52-yard touchdown reception by Dylan Cook, as he and McElroy have been on the same page tonight, Logan.
Yeah, that was a great throw, and Dylan Cook was just able to run under it with his speed and could have walked into the end zone.
What an amazing throw by Zane McElroy. He looks like he hasn't missed a beat. Sergio Perez's kick is good, and the Cardinals improved the score 21 to 14, excuse me. And that drive took about 1 minute and 2 seconds. Excuse me, they got the kickoff with 3 minutes and 1 second on the board. They actually took offensive possession with 2:53 on the clock. So it took 54 seconds.
That's, I mean, it's kind of good and bad because we scored, obviously, and that puts us up 21-14, but it gives this Coweta offense a chance to score going into halftime and tie this ball game up.
It gives them a lot of time. Now, the thing is they are a running team. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are and if they put the ball in the air because that might force them into making a mistake. We'll just have to see what they elect to do here, how aggressive they want to be.
They do have 2 timeouts left.
Nice cook here by Sergio Perez. Hits the ground before being fielded. Levi Draper. Oh, and there's a missed tackle. It's going to be on Perez here. Can he make through a block? He does not. And the quarterback, Fitzsimmons, takes it to the house. And special teams has been a question mark for the Cardinals tonight. What a return there by number 13, the quarterback, Ryan Fitzsimmons. Wheeler capped it off with a block on Sergio Perez as he was the last man to keep Fitzsimmons out of the end zone.
So Collinsville offense will take the field again.
Wow. So we remain tied 21-21, and that is discouraging, to say the least, because it's the offense has played well, the defense has played well, and still Coweta has managed to score 3 times in this game, and their offense has only scored one of those 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so our defense playing really well tonight, our offense slipping, and our special teams slipping. So that, like you said, that was a result of 2 of their 3 touchdowns.
So the Cardinals receiving team on the field.
Pryor is leading Claremore 21-14 in a District 5A-4 matchup.
If Pryor wins that game, and then I'll knock on wood, Collinsville can manage to stay unblemished up to the Pryor game, Collinsville could win the district with a victory over Pryor. Kickoff this time. Again, Cook will field it. Almost bounces over his head. And he breaks through quite a few defenders. And it looks like he's brought out of bounds at about the 26. Nope, right on the 25-yard line. Nice return there by Dylan Cook as he fielded that at about the 10, and it almost bounced over his head. So with 1:39 on the clock, we'll see if Zane McElroy can strike again.
It looks like Marcus Redwine is again on the sideline trying to stretch cramps. I don't know, but whatever it is bothering him.
Number 23, Austin Roberts, will be in the receiving corps instead of Dylan Cook, McElroy's favorite receiver on the evening. Oh, and it's another fumble! Oh, my goodness. It looks like Coweta got on top of it. They do. And just mistakes hurting the Cardinals so much right now.
You just can't have that if you want to beat a opponent like Coweta. Coweta, do they have a turnover?
No.
Coweta does not have a turnover. Collinsville has 2. A missed snap at the goal with our backs against the goal line, and then a missed handoff.
Return.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, that was just a miscue on the handoff. So Wheeler's going to get the ball. Josh Arnold tackling him, and the Cardinal defense here are going to be asked to answer a call. Can they stop Coweta before the half, prevent them from getting more points and going into the half? Wheeler gets again. Shakes one tackle with a spin move. Levi Draper wraps him up. And Coweta's going to go ahead and take a timeout after the run. Coweta really likes their big package. Wheeler is the back. They like their fullback Tristan Butcher, and also that tight end that they keep in the game. That is their big package, their running package, and it has worked well for them tonight. They're going to figure out what they want to do here on this 3rd and 3 with 49 seconds. That's 49.9, so we can just call it 50. And Coach Jones here gotta be, just shaking his head at the misfortunes of his team at this point. That kickoff return, and then followed by the fumble there, where he's thinking, you got to be thinking McElroy's going to put another drive together. You're just going to continue to trade blows with Coweta. Instead, your offense throws a blow at you, and your defense is back in a position protecting their own goal line.
So Coweta, 3rd and 2. One timeout left. If Collinsville was able to get a stop here, you have to think they'd elect to call the timeout and kick it.
Fitzsimmons on the carry. Levi Draper chased him down. There's a flag on the play. It might be a horse collar. It looks like Coweta was short of the first down. The penalty will stop the clock, unfortunately.
And that'll move them up 15 yards, I think, because it is a personal foul.
Yep, personal foul against the Cardinals.
So that'll move them to about the 5-yard line.
Well, they might go half the distance to the goal then.
If so, then it would only be a 10-yard penalty.
Looks like the ball will be placed on the 9-yard line here. 43 seconds to go.
So it is a 10-yard penalty.
And Collinsville's going to call a timeout here and talk about trying to get this big stop.
Maybe to give this defense a break and a breather, as they have kind of wore down as this as this quarter has progressively ended.
See Coach Harp there talking to his secondary. Coach Benham in the huddle. He's the linebackers coach.
And the defensive coordinator.
And Damon Harold, who is the defensive line coach. Everybody in there kind of talking their positions up. Let's see if it does any good, as this defense really could come through big for the Cardinals here. Not just to prevent Coweta from getting points, but to give their team some momentum going into half. Wheeler gets the handoff, turns a corner, maybe has a couple yards on the carry. Time not really a huge factor right now, as 38 seconds should be plenty when you're second and goal with 5 yards to go. More of Wheeler, this time up the middle, and he'll be in the end zone.
And just a unfortunate turn of events for the Cardinals, allowing Coweta to take the lead. And these last 2 minutes have lasted an eternity with all the penalties and the timeouts and players running out of bounds.
So Wheeler caps off that drive that started at their own 25 on the Collinsville fumble with a 5-yard touchdown run. And Coweta goes on top for the first time tonight, 28-21. And I don't think there's any doubt that when the Cardinals get the ball here, they're going to take a knee and head into halftime.
Depends on where they get the ball at, though.
Yeah.
If they get a good return like they have the previous 2 times, maybe get past the 50-yard line, then you might see them kind of open up the playbook, and air it out.
Let's see if Coweta kicks it up or Squibb kicks here. They do kick to Tillman again, who previously got it to the 50. And he waits for his blocks to kind of go, and he doesn't get much there. Brought down at about the 30-yard line.
So, like you said, they will probably maybe run the ball once because Coweta has 1 timeout.
Looks like Red Wine is in the game now. And the Cardinals are not in victory formation, so we'll see what they elect to do. 27 seconds on the clock here. They're going to hand off to Red Wine. He runs up the middle.
They're just going to go into halftime with the final score 28-21. The Coweta Tigers leading.
And that'll do it for the first half as Coweta leads the Cardinals 28-21. Halftime here at Salee Field. Coach Jones and his coaching staff will try to get this thing figured out. And we will take a break here before we have a ceremony to honor some important Collinsville people.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
All right, we are back here at Salee Field where a very important halftime ceremony is underway. Hannah's Helping Hands has sponsored the game tonight. Throughout the week, Collinsville students were asked to sell gold ribbons. People who purchased those ribbons would be given a balloon this evening to release at halftime. All those funds will go to support Hannah's Helping Hands, and all of this in honor of fighting childhood cancer. As you can see, purple out is also a theme for this evening. This purple is the selected color to purple and gold. They selected colors to to represent childhood cancer.
All right, folks, I'm going to take this time now to read a poem entitled The Little Soldier. The medals on our chest are portacasts from meds. Helmets won't stay on because no hair is on our heads. Our weapons of destruction we take every day. We fight the battle within us while we struggle to play. We fight with honor and courage no Marine could do as well. We are only little children living in this hell. So bring on the medals, the Purple Hearts of Wars, the Gold Cross, the Silver Star to place upon our scars. For we are the children of cancer. No one has fought so hard, but every day we struggle on. Our life is our reward. At this time, folks, we'd like to recognize all cancer fighters, survivors, and the taken. And folks, this is not a moment of silence. This is a time to celebrate. So on the count of 3, I want to hear some noise when you let those balloons go. 1, 2, 3, let them fly.
really special moment here at Salee Field. Beautiful poem read by the public announcer. All these gold balloons released representing the fight that so many children put up with cancer every day.
All right, folks, thank you very much. And let's get ready for those Crimson Cadets.
As we see those balloons fly off into the sky, we will take one more break. We will be back for the performance of the Crimson Cadets.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
How about another round of applause for your Collinsville Crimson Cadet?
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
All right, we are back here live from Salee Field in Collinsville, Oklahoma, where the Cardinals are down 21-28 at halftime versus the Coweta Tigers. I'm Casey Price alongside Logan Wilt. Logan, let's first talk about the good. What are the good things that happened for the Cardinals in that first half?
Well, Zane coming back, and like you said, not missing a beat. He came back and really just stepped in where Sean and Brandon left off, and so I was really pleased with how he played so far. Another good is our defense. I mean, they allowed 14 points.
Yeah, there at the end they gave up another touchdown, but man, they were in precarious position as the offense turns the ball over at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the defense has really played well. 2 mishaps by the offense. Well, 1 by the offense, 1 by the special teams, and that's what's resulted in the other 14 points.
So that kind of brings up the bad. The first turnover the Cardinals had was from their own 5-yard line. Miscue on the snap between Colton Conover and Zane McElroy ends up being a fumble that the Coweta Tigers are able to pick up and run into the end zone for a touchdown. Second turnover the Cardinals have on a handoff miscommunication, it seemed to be between McElroy and Haymaker. That one also resulted in a turnover. That one was just with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Coweta then gets the ball and is able to put together a very short touchdown scoring drive. The other touchdown that the Coweta was able to get was off of that kickoff return. Just kind of an interesting storyline so far to this first half, as on another kickoff return, it seemed like Collinsville was going to be the recipients of a fumble recovery. Instead, the officials kind of get together, decide that it wasn't a fumble. Instead, there was interference on the kickoff team, that being the Cardinals, so they re-kick off. I would say that McElroy has played really well, especially with the ball in his hands, but we will probably never know if the fact that this is his first game back here in Week 6, that maybe the miscues between he and the snapper and also he and his running backs on those handoff have anything to do with, maybe him just being a step behind. And I could be 100% wrong on that. Like I said, we won't really know if that is the case. Nevertheless, the Cardinals will get the ball back here to start the half. What do you think Coach Jones' message was to his team in the locker room?
Well, I think he's trying to tell his offense and his special teams to no turnovers for his offense, and his special teams, they need to step up and they need to play like they have been all season. I mean, giving up a 80-yard touchdown off a kickoff is not something that can be good, because that gave Coweta the momentum, and they end up scoring another touchdown, which is 14 unanswered points.
Yeah, totally, and that's a good point. So you think if the Cardinals come out here and commit no more turnovers, that they can win this game?
Our special teams is going to have to step up. I think our defense has played pretty well. They got wore down towards the end of the first half, but only allowing 14 points is pretty good in high school football.
All right, well, with about a minute 45 to go in the half, we'll take one more commercial break, and we'll be back with the start of the second.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
All right, we are back as the Coweta Tigers have taken the field and are beginning their stretches, as well as the two Collinsville quarterback, Zane McElroy, along with Brandon Lowe, tossing the ball around on the sideline a little bit here. The remaining Cardinal players are not on the field yet. Logan and I talked about hoping to see pretty much more of the same out of McElroy as far as running and throwing the ball. His arm looked really good in the first half. Had a couple big completions to Dylan Cook, one on a 51-yard touchdown pass, and then McElroy scored as well on his feet with a 34-yard run.
I talked to Coach Redding before the game, and his keys to the game was stop the running game, force turnovers, and protect the quarterback. And so far, the running game for Coweta has been iffy. They've really pounded the ball and gave Collinsville troubles with Wheeler in the backfield. Forcing turnovers, Collinsville hasn't done a good job of tonight.
They've been the reverse of that. They've been the one coughing the ball up. And now the problem is you play from behind from a good running team. When a team can run the ball with success on you, that's not a good scenario, because that puts them in the driver's seat. You know, they want to run the ball. They have the luxury to do that. That was kind of one of the reasons that we were pretty excited before halftime. Cardinals had gone and scored in 54 seconds. They go up by a touchdown on Coweta, and we're thinking this is going to be great. Defense gets a stop. We go into half. We get the ball back to start the half, and it looks like Collinsville is in the driver's seat. Well, Coweta goes on to score 2 touchdowns in that amount of time, and 2 touchdowns in under 2 minutes of play. That just should not happen. So we'll see if McElroy can kind of get the offense going here to start this second half, as they're going to need a score here early, or else, like I talked about, they're going to be kind of working out of a hole. Well, I think we can take one more commercial break here while the teams warm up, and we'll be back with kickoff of the second half.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
And the Cardinals returning to their sideline as they will receive the ball here to start the second half. Logan and I talking over the break about this Cardinal team and their adaptability. Logan, they are with their 3rd starting quarterback of the season at this point.
Yeah, and with starting quarterbacks comes their timing, and each quarterback has different movements and hand timing. I don't know how to elaborate
it's
on
about
that.
Synchronization and timing, and that's a good point. And when you're a team that runs the zone read as much as this team does, that's a huge timing and feel type situation to play. And the running backs for this Cardinal team have gone through that with now their 3rd quarterback. And I think that is a tribute to the, like I said, adaptability of this team. They've done a really good job so far this season. Tonight, kind of the first night that we've seen them turn the ball over, and we'll see if we can get that remedy going into the second half. Marcus Tillman fields another kickoff, and he's able to get about 10 yards on the return, and it looks like the Cardinals will take the ball at the 33-yard line to begin this first drive of the second half.
Collinsville and Coweta both had 5 possessions last half, so an even amount of time.
You know, something that I will find interesting to see is how much Coach McClure and the Cardinal offense elect to throw the ball deep. It has seemed to be there anytime they've needed it tonight. So we'll see if they can kind of burn this Coweta Tiger defense any more on that, or if they elect to continue to kind of ground and pound with the offense. Here we go. Haymaker gets a handoff, runs right, goes through middle, breaking through tackles. Nice running there by Haymaker, and good blocking by his line. He looks like he followed the blocks of big man Jake Douglas. And that right side, that was a good gain of maybe 6 yards on the carry. So 2nd and 4 here for the Cardinals, maybe 2nd and 5. TJ Johnson over to the left does have the starting running back Wheeler guarding him. McElroy again going to hand off to Haymaker, runs up middle once again, pushing through that line. This time it'll be good for a Cardinal first down.
So they come out running the ball with Haymaker, and Redwine started the game. And so I wonder if Haymaker's in because of cramps or, I don't know, an injury, or if they decided to go with Haymaker this half.
And something we talked about off air was the fact that maybe this would give Haymaker an opportunity to kind of come in with a step on the defense, and it kind of appears like he has been able to do that tonight. He seemed to kind of catch the defense maybe off balance with his speed. That time the run by McElroy just managed to get past the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and a long 9 here. And I think that the Cardinals are going to kind of push up the middle, and then maybe get that defense to kind of pack it in, and then maybe one of those deep balls will be available.
So trips to the right, TJ to the left.
McElroy looks right, has Cook, interference, got to be called, and there are the flags. Man, Dylan Cook has just been the guy that McElroy has seen all night. And that'll be good for a first down here for the Cardinals.
And see, the ruling on that is if the ball is tipped, then Coweta is able to make contact with the wide receiver. But did the ball get tipped? It looked to me like it got tipped. Maybe the referee missed that, or maybe I was looking at a different play.
Well, they are going to go ahead and mark off the interference. I know, Logan, if it's tipped at the line of scrimmage, that yes, that's correct, that you can, at least in other leagues, I don't know about for sure at the high school level, but that ball I know wasn't tipped at the line of scrimmage, maybe further down the field. 2 wide outs to either side of McElroy here. He's going to hand off to Haymaker, runs up middle, running fast. That's a nice game by Ryan Haymaker, as he is really hitting those gaps full throttle tonight.
So he comes out at halftime, and he is motivated and ready to run it down Coweta's throat.
All right, so 2nd and 1. Once again, Cards go with double wide outs on both sides of McElroy. Haymaker remains the back. Blitz coming. See if McElroy picks it up. He does. Quick pass right to Keenan Hamilton. He's got his first down. That'll be good for a gain of about 8 on the completion to Keenan Hamilton. His first reception of the night. Ball going to be placed now on the 28-yard line. Coach McClure staying with this package, having some success out of it. Blitz coming from the left this time. Haymaker runs right up the middle. Not much going that time, maybe a couple yards on the carry. Hilton for the Tigers in on the tackle. A nice spot there on the carry, as it looks like the officials gave Haymaker 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
So, twins to either side. Zane keeps it. He breaks free, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Zane McElroy. A 20-yard run.
Nice job there by McElroy. Just feeding Haymaker the entire possession. Then on that play, keeps it on the zone read and is able to run for another 20 yards. And he just looks exactly like the Zane McElroy of last year, making plays like that. And it has dropped 10 degrees here at Salif Field, so it's significantly colder than it was to begin the game. Hopefully all the players managed to get good and loose before the half. Sergio Perez's kick is good, so the Cardinals tie it up at 28 on their first possession of this second half. Good job by the Collinsville Cardinals.
So Zane has 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. 1 52-yard pass for a touchdown, and Marcus Redwine has the other touchdown.
And you know what I'd love to see, Logan, is McElroy over here on the sideline. And who are some of the first guys to come give him high fives? Brandon Lowe, who started last week at quarterback, and Sean Kacheski, who started the whole year at quarterback. And that just goes to show you the selflessness of this team. Neither of those guys are upset that McElroy getting the call tonight to start the game. And trust me, that's huge. That's huge to be a quarterback and to be able to just accept stuff like that and be able to be happy for your teammate. Fair catch there called by number 19. That's Fletcher Edwards, the sophomore for the Tigers. So they'll take over at the 26-yard line. That was a really nice drive there by the Cardinals. They got the ball at the 33, marched all the way to the end zone, and we'll see if the defense can kind of pick up not where they left off, because the second quarter they didn't play as well as they did in that first half. So let's see if they can kind of get back on the right track here on this possession. Fake the handoff to Fletcher, and a really good job. Ball's loose. The officials are going to call it down. Levi Draper and Justin Cothe on the tackle there.
That was probably the right call.
Yeah.
By the referees.
I just like it when they blow the whistle and call it dead early. I hate the indecisiveness either way. So I think that was a good job by them. Go ahead and making sure that their call was made early in the play. All right, Fletcher looks to pass this time. Incomplete, intended target number 18, Scotty Grant. So it'll be 3rd and 12 here for the Tigers. All right, let's see if the Cardinals come with a blitz here, if they continue just to contain. Fletcher is the back, 3 wideouts to the right. Fitzsimmons in motion that way. Pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 20, Chance Craig. And now to be 4th and 12 for the Tigers.
So a 3 and out by this Coweta offense. And this defense will get off the field and get a breather.
Brandon Lowe back to receive here for the Cardinals. Lowe's trying to get Marcus Tillman lined up here with an unaccounted for Tiger. Ball bounces and Brandon Lowe will field it at the 49-yard line here. So McElroy right back on the field, this time at the 49 to begin his next offensive drive.
And he looks sharp on the first offensive drive of the second half. So hopefully he comes out and starts where he left off.
See if Haymaker continues to get the handoffs. He does. Runs forward for a couple there.
That is the 7th run of the half so far. With 7:20 left in the half, left in the third quarter.
Kuita staying in the same defense. Quick pass to TJ Johnson. Defenders in pursuit. That'll be right about the same line of scrimmage. Looks like Kuita was all over that play.
Looks like he's going to lose a yard.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 here for the Cards. That ball's going to have to get there a lot faster if TJ Johnson's going to be able to do much with it before defense can get to him. Here comes the blitz. McElroy sees it. Trying to hard count here. Nice job by McElroy. Quick pass again to TJ Johnson. That'll be short of the first down.
So the coaches
Actually, it's going to be close.
Coaches will have a decision.
Should be short by a couple of inches.
And it looks like it is.
Haymaker is the back. Cards trying to get on the ball quick. McElroy, I'm sure, going to give a hard count. Blitz is coming from the outside, both sides. And Cardinals are going to call a timeout. They were trying to draw the Tigers off sides there. And now we'll see if Coach Jones really wants to go for it here on this 4th and 1 with the ball at the 42-yard line. You got to kind of play. You got to either choose. Do you show confidence in your offense? Or do you show confidence in your defense? Do you say we're gonna pin them back deep, kind of like what we'd done earlier in the game? The benefit that the Cardinals do have is that they can come out in their offensive package, see if Kuita honors that. They may elect to have their punt team in and have a man back to receive, which would leave a Cardinal offensive player open, and they do not. They're matched up here, showing blitz again, both from the outside. McElroy is going to punt. And it's high, not covering a lot of distance, and then takes a Kuita bounce. So that punt is good for about 3 yards.
Maybe you should have gone for it there.
Well, I'm sure Coach Jones would opt for that now after a 3-yard punt.
We haven't seen Collinsville line up and do a quarterback sneak, which Zane being as big as he is, I would like to see that, but we don't see it there, and in a 3-yard punt.
Man, that really hurts. All right, so Fitzsimmons leads his offense onto the field. Once again, they like that running package with their tight end, their fullback, and the good running back Wheeler in the pistol. Wheeler gets the handoff, runs right, and Kothi has hands on him, forces him into the backfield, which will result in a tackle for loss as Mark Tillman able to pursue him all the way back there. Nice job by Justin Kothi. Like we talked about, he just kind of blows things up, and that time, even though he wasn't able to make the tackle, forced Wheeler to run backwards, and that'll be a loss on the play for the Tigers.
Yep, Kothi would have tackled him for a 2-yard loss, but Wheeler ended up running backwards for a loss of 4.
Wheeler gets a handoff again. This time runs left. He'll have 5 on that carry, which will make it 3rd and 9 here for the Tigers. Keenan Pretty, Parker Brown, and Justin Kothi are the defensive linemen. Keenan Hamilton also lined up on the line. Marcus Tillman will be coming. He does. Puts pursuit on. Hands up, and it'll be an incomplete pass. Good job by Marcus Tillman to put pressure on the quarterback along with Keenan Pretty, and it'll be 4th and 9 here for the Tigers.
So 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs in this half so far for Coweta.
A good job by that Cardinal defense, like we talked about, kind of getting back on track. They had played really well in that first quarter, and now they're kind of getting back to that, and the offense needs to reward them. Fumble on the snap! Good job by the punter, still able to get it off, and Brandon Lowe's going to have to get away from that. Man, that was a really nice play by number 9, Jake Northern. He's the punter for the Tigers. And what could have been a huge mistake on their behalf turns out being a decent little punt.
So Zane and the Collinsville offense will take the field. Last possession resulted in a punt. Score is 28 all. So if Collinsville was to score, they would take the lead.
Looks like TJ Johnson's going to have to get something fixed with his equipment. So Sam West is checked into the game for him. Cook in motion. Handoff goes to Haymaker. He gets to about the 30, so that'll be very little gain on the run play.
Haymaker gets as much as he can. He's a hard runner, and so far Coweta's basically shut him down.
And this helmet of TJ Johnson's is getting a lot of attention over here on the sideline, as well as whatever the issue is with his pads, his back pads. That's even got the head coach's attention over here.
They want him on the field.
McElroy, quick pass to Keenan Hamilton is complete. Nice little play there as they used Hamilton as a tight end, a true tight end, something we very rarely see. And that'll be good for a gain of about 8 on the completion. So it'll be 3rd and 2 here for the Cards. Coach McClure having to be creative with his star wideout on the sideline.
And with it being 3rd and 2, you have to think they're probably going to run it and not risk an incomplete pass.
Linebacker coming over here on the left, right side as well, looking for a quick pass, and McElroy just airs it out. Dylan Cook was the intended wide receiver. He was guarded really well there by the defender, so McElroy will be forced to punt here.
Looked like a confusion on what route Dylan Cook was supposed to run.
Well, he was met initially at the line of scrimmage and held up there, which is legal. You can bump and grind within 5 yards, and that rendered him unable to get in position for the pass that he was intended for. All right, McElroy with the punt. This one much better than the previous. And number 19 fumbles it. Can the Cardinals recover? It looks like they do. Marcus Redwine.
No,
And
Dylan Cook with the
Dylan
recovery.
Cook in on it.
So Collinsville gets their first turnover of the game. And with good field position.
All right, so the Cardinals will have the ball now at the 30. And let's see if they can get some points. Sam West remains the wide receiver in the game. TJ Johnson's still in the game as well.
It looks like Hamilton is out and Cook, and they have Austin Roberts. So 3 sophomore wide receivers in the game at this time.
Ryan Haymaker with the run, and he'll be tackled short this time. That'll be a loss of 1 on the carry.
The line not getting the push that they got the first half.
Keenan Hamilton being stretched out over here on the sideline. Doesn't look like it's an injury, just kind of getting a little bit of rest and maybe stretching out some cramps or just maybe a little soreness. Handoff again goes to Ryan Haymaker, and wow, he breaks through a couple of tackles. There's going to be a flag on this play, and Haymaker was tackled for a loss, and he's going to have to be kind of talked to after he kind of spikes the ball down on that play. Officials going to have to kind of get all of this back under their control. It's going to be a face mask against Coweta.
That'll move Collinsville up 15 yards. So that is a huge mistake by Coweta, as it gives Collinsville a first down and really good field position, as they will be in the red zone.
All right, so the ball's going to be at the 20 now after that penalty. And the chain gang has... It's 2nd and 1 after the penalty.
Oh, excuse me.
Handoff goes to Haymaker again, twists out of a tackle, and man, they just keep pounding it up the middle, and Haymaker just kind of continues to be met by a gang of Tigers. That time it will be good for the first down.
I thought a face mask was a 15-yard penalty because it is a personal foul. They only marked 10 yards off there.
Yeah.
But they know what. They're the referee. So they know what they're doing down there, hopefully.
Keenan Hamilton back into the game. He is set to the right along with Forrest and Roberts. TJ Johnson alone on the right. Wheeler defending him. McElroy is with a carrier. Nice blocking by Haymaker. And McElroy will run all the way to the, looks like the 6-yard line. Nice running and really good blocking there by the Cardinals. That'll be good for a Cardinal first down. A minute, 8 seconds to go in this third quarter. Score 28-28. Cardinals first and goal with the ball on the 6. McElroy in the shotgun. Haymaker to his right. Handoff goes to Haymaker. Runs right up the middle again. Still hasn't been brought down. Touchdown, Ryan Haymaker just refusing to go down. And Haymaker gets his first points in 2 games.
There's a 6-yard touchdown run by Ryan Haymaker.
And Cutler Cole's helmet came off, so Joey Kropinski will have to check in for him on this point after attempt. And Perez completes the PAT, so the Cardinals pull ahead, score 2 touchdowns back-to-back in this third quarter, and now they lead 35-28 with a minute to go in the quarter. Really good job by the offense and defense to start this half. And we'll just see if they can continue it into the fourth quarter. They kind of began the game this way as well with momentum. Offense looked good, defense looked good. Second quarter, kind of the momentum started to shift. We'll have to see if now they can keep their momentum into the fourth quarter.
And hopefully we don't give up a big special teams play here, as we've seen happen before.
Ooh, this kick is fielded, and man, I agree with the no flag call on that. I mean, it seems like I get nervous because they're coming in there and they're making contact after the guy's signal fair catch, but he's doing it so late that I think it's a good thing that the officials aren't throwing a flag on that play. I'm sure the Coweta coaches do not agree with that, but he's just waiting really, really late, and as a defender,
It looked like Levi was going for the ball too. It looked like he was trying to catch the ball, so that's probably the decision that the refs made, was not to throw a flag there.
So Coweta takes over the ball on the 36-yard line, and Wheeler met by Josh Arnold, and then backup of Levi Draper has come. And these defenders are doing a really good job so far keeping Wheeler in check. And Coach Jones got to be pretty excited about his linebacker position. I mean, he's just got a lot of athleticism and youth at that spot. Fitzsimmons changing the play. 2nd and 10. Gonna keep it on the read. Has his yardage. Looks like he'll have a first down on the carry. And a nice zone read there by Fitzsimmons for 10 yards.
So they get a first down on the first this quarter, which is big for the Coweta offense.
And the officials are going to call a time here for a measurement. It looks like Coweta will go with will have their quarterback on the sideline, so they're going to go direct snap here to Wheeler on the next play. And they do have the first down. Let's see if Coweta keeps Fitzsimmons on the sideline. It looks like they will, so they went with this package in the first quarter where I think they actually did it on the second play of the game, where they just direct snap right to Wheeler. And they'll do the same thing here. Hopefully the defense is aware that Fitzsimmons is over there on the sideline. And you know what? It looks like Coweta's going to call a timeout.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
Yeah, excuse me. That's the end of the quarter. So Collinsville leads Coweta 35-28. And we're about to begin the fourth quarter. We'll be back with that.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something? something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Melton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
Missed that first play of the fourth quarter as Wheeler took the direct snap and ran for 9, but there were flags on the play. Indication is holding against the Tigers, so that'll march them back from the spot of the foul. And it'll be closer to a 1st and 20 than to that 2nd and 2. Logan, let's recap that third quarter. The Cardinals really got off to a good start of the second half.
Yeah, the defense didn't allow any points by this Coweta offense, and Coweta had 2 3-and-outs out of their 3 possessions, and they're on their third possession right now. And the offense came out and has scored 14 points unanswered. So the offense is scoring and the defense is holding them, and that's what you have to do to win, plain and simple.
Fitzsimmons following his blocks here as he'll run for a nice gain of what looks to be 10 yards or more. About 8 yards on that run. So it'll be 2nd and 14 or so. Nice running there by Fitzsimmons and really good patience by the quarterback following his blocks. They do have their big package in, tied into the left. Handoff goes to Wheeler. He runs that way. And, man, he just hits the hole at 100%. Looks like he got 4 on that carry. His helmet came off, so he'll have to come out of the game, which is a blessing here for the Cardinals, as it'll be a 3rd and maybe, it looks like 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. Looks like the tight end will be lined up on the right this time. Fullback in the game, he's to Fitzsimmons' right. And the new running back is number 15, Jacob Phillips. But Coweta's going to call a timeout here. So I'd say even more than offensively, the defense here has to have a really good half for the Cardinals. Manage to get stops. And, I say that and then I think about the offense. They've got to be able to run some clock as well. I mean, this game is far from over. Lots of time left with 10 minutes, 37 seconds. And they're going to need to be able to have success moving the chains. I guess they don't have to have success running the ball, but they've got to be able to move the chains, keep their defense and Coweta's offense off of the field. And the number one thing will be no mistakes as far as turnovers go. That's one thing that Coweta was able to capitalize on big time in that first half. So big time 3rd down here. Phillips is the running back. Mark Tillman coming on the blitz. He's met. Kothi still in pursuit. Pass is complete, and it's going to be good for a 1st down. Nice rollout there by Fitzsimmons, and there's going to be a flag on the play, and that's going to be head-to-head contact against the Cardinals. Helmet-to-helmet contact against the Cardinals.
See, I don't like that call because the Coweta player was going down, and there's no way Dylan Cook can get any lower than he was. And he really didn't, intend, and he didn't go after him when he saw he was going down.
Yeah, that's got to be a hard play to call as an official. With all the new rules that they've put in about protecting the players, especially wide receivers and quarterbacks in situations where it's head-to-head. Man, as a defender, I agree with you. It's rough. Oh, it's against Coweta.
Well, it's going to be against both, I think, because the Coweta player led with the crown of his helmet, and so did the
Defender Dylan Cook.
Dylan Cook.
So the spot of the ball will just remain, and
if it's targeting, the PA announcer said targeting. Targeting would make him ejected from the game. So I don't believe it is targeting.
wow. So it is a 15-yard penalty against Coweta from the spot of the foul. So that'll move them back to the 43-yard line.
So that is the fourth penalty of the half for Coweta, and that is 45 yards of penalties for Coweta, and that really hurts Coweta if they want to win this game. Being down 7 points in the fourth quarter, they can't have silly penalties like that.
All right, so 3rd and 13 for Coweta. Stands are on their feet here. The fans in the stands are on their feet.
I didn't know the stands had feet.
Ha. All right, Fitzsimmons looks to pass. He's got some pressure. Keenan Hamilton's in his face, and it will be a sack. Keenan Pretty and Keenan Hamilton bring down the quarterback here.
That was a big hit by Pretty.
Big loss on the play, and it'll be 4th and forever for Coweta as they are forced to punt. And really good, on sacks like that, people tend to forget that it's usually because of the coverage that the secondary is able to maintain. When a quarterback stays alive that long, it's hard to continue to cover your man. And so a really good job by the secondary there.
And a good job by the lineman in pursuit of the quarterback. He ran around for 5 seconds, and the lineman still continued with the play and were able to bring him down in the backfield.
A nice punt there by number 9, Jake Northern, the Coweta punter. So McElroy will lead his offense onto the field here for their second possession of this quarter. They scored on at the very end of a drive there at the beginning of the fourth. So they will have the ball here at the 29-yard line. And like we talked about, just taking care of the ball is half the battle here at this point for the Cardinals. 1 touchdown lead, 9 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the quarter. McElroy going to keep it on a run. Blocking is there, and he's going to stay in bounds. Good job by McElroy. Won't get a whole lot on the carry, but a good job by him to go ahead and remain in bounds. Looks like he only got about a yard there on that carry. See how much play clock the Cardinals let expire before they snap. McElroy has T.J. Johnson on his left in single coverage, but Wheeler's the defender, and it checks to double coverage. McElroy instead throws to the middle of the field, and the linebacker Tristan Butcher got a hand on it. McElroy fortunate that one wasn't intercepted, as the intended wide receiver was Keenan Hamilton. And it'll be 3rd and 9 for the Cardinals with the ball at the 30. Cards taking their time here. Almost a minute has expired this possession already.
5 on the play clock.
Blitz coming. McElroy has some pressure, and he's just going to get rid of it. A good play there by McElroy. And there's a flag as he was drugged down to the ground after he had attempted the pass. It looks like the officials might be discussing whether that's the play call or if it's intentional grounding. He was well outside of the pocket. And
They're gonna wave the flag?
So
that was roughing the passer. There's no way. The ball was thrown, and the Coweta defender continually kept pulling him down to the ground, even though he knew the ball was out. I don't agree with that call there to wave the flag. That's
So instead, the official had thrown the flag, thinking the call was intentional grounding. Like I mentioned, McElroy was definitely outside of the pocket, so that flag was waved. Nice punt here by McElroy. Oh, and another fumble! Looks like number 13, the Coweta, that's the quarterback, Ryan Fitzsimmons, managed to get on top of it this time after the fumble. They'll take over on downs at the 50, or excuse me, they'll take over after the punt at the 50 here.
So Collinsville punts it away, and Coweta gets another chance to tie the ball game up. And Collinsville not taking advantage of the 7-point lead and putting Coweta in a tough situation by scoring or making a long drive and taking the clock down.
Wheeler gets the handoff. He's still on his feet. He has the first down. Nice running there by Wheeler, and man, when they have the ball in their own territory, he's running downhill, and that's dangerous against this Cardinal defense. I mean, like we talked about, the defensive line is athletic and young, and that kind of goes synonymous with small. Wheeler kind of having his way running over those guys at times. This time Fitzsimmons keeps it. He'll run for 5 before he's brought down by Tillman and Josh Arnold. So it'll be 2nd and 5 for Coweta, and it just seems like when they have short field, they have a lot more confidence running the ball.
Yeah, and no surprise that they're just trying to pound it down Collinsville's throat and just keep taking clock away, because they know Collinsville will get another chance on the offensive side of the ball.
Good tackling that time by TJ Johnson. Elects to go low and gets Wheeler for a big-time loss. Levi Draper in on the tackle as well, so it'll be 3rd and 10. Really good job by TJ Johnson in pursuit on the option. So a huge 3rd and 9 here. More like, 3rd and 10. Big 3rd and 10 here for the Cardinals. Got to get a stop early. Phillips is the back now. Fitzsimmons going to be looking to pass. Number 19 in motion, fakes the handoff to him. Fitzsimmons runs up middle. He's got about 5 on the carry, so I'm sure they'll go for it. And there are flags on the play, and I'm going to guess that's going to go against Collinsville.
It's got to go against both players, because Coweta guy was pushing as much as the Collinsville guy, and it's going to be on Coweta because he was holding Marcus Tillman down on the ground.
Well, glad to see that. Tillman, I was the typical official. I saw the second reaction, and Tillman put his hands on the player. Now, he didn't really push him or anything. It looked like he just kind of tapped him. And so I was kind of thinking that it would be a weak call against him. But like I said, I only saw really the retaliation, even though it really wasn't very physical.
So, Coweta with their 5th penalty of this half. Collinsville hasn't had a penalty, so they pretty much stayed mistake-free this second half, which is good to see, because if they want to win this ball game, they can't have a turnover or stupid penalties like Coweta's been doing.
So it's 4th and 20 for Coweta, and they are going to punt. Brandon Lowe in to field it. And number 9, Northern, has had some really good punts in tonight's game. This one a little low on the snap. And an end-over-end punt sails over the head of Brandon Lowe, and he's just going to have to get away from it. And it's going to take a Tiger bounce. So it'll be down at about the 11. Where the Cardinal offense will take over. Let's see if they can get a first down here. 6 minutes, 5 seconds to go. And it'd be nice to see them put a drive together, if nothing else than just to get the ball out of their defense's territory.
Yeah, we need probably a 3-minute drive at least for Collinsville to kind of feel like they've starting to take control of this game.
Looks like the Cards go with their bunch formation far out to the left here. Gonna be a run, just kind of getting the defense away from the center of the field. Haymaker runs for maybe 2 or 3 there.
That is the 14th run of this half.
That was a gain of 4. Nice running there by Haymaker, falling forward for a couple extra yards.
So Collinsville running the ball more than they did last half.
Using up the clock here as well. 5:30 in the game, 5 on the play clock. Snap back. Handoff is, kept there by McElroy on the read. Runs forward for a couple. And it looks like it'll be 3rd and 4 for the Cardinals.
Third and 4, so a big, crucial play here for Collinsville and Coweta. We'll see what Coach McClure elects to do here.
Blitz is coming. Both outside linebackers showing the heat. Handoff is kept by McElroy. Runs up the middle. Tons of space. He's got the first down. Slips through one tackle. Wraps up the ball at the 50 where he's finally brought down. Nice running there by Zane McElroy as he just charges up the center of the field on that zone read. Showed a lot of elusiveness there as he eluded the one man that could beat him. He was caught from behind only as he broke some tackles running right through the center. Nice job by Zane McElroy on a huge first down conversion for the Cards.
And we'll see how his conditioning comes into effect if he needs to get off the field for an oxygen tank soon.
Cardinals in that bunch formation once again. Haymaker gets a handoff, running to the left. He's got 2 on the run once again. And what's going to be interesting to see if the Cardinals continue to go with that package with the trips bunched up wide to the left. Most coaches, like myself, are going to assume that's just to keep the defenders out of the middle of the field. Well, that time Coweta only had 2 defenders on the 3 wideouts over here. So obviously you're going to have a mismatch eventually on something like that.
And we know Coach McClure and the coaches saw that and are going to try to take advantage of that if it happens again.
So number 19, the safety, is over here, but he's going to kind of work towards the middle as McElroy will keep it up middle once again. Nice running there by McElroy. It looks like he might have had 4 on that carry, so it'll be 3rd and 3, maybe 3rd and 4 here for the Cards. Cardinals continuing to eat up clock. Eight seconds on the play clock.
They're going to have to hurry up if they want to get this ball off.
2, 1, and let's see. Did they call a timeout?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, that one was close. They're going to have to break their huddles with more than 8 seconds. So the Cards will take a timeout, maybe well needed. Like you mentioned, McElroy might be getting a little gassed. It's 3rd and 4 here in the 4th quarter. Cardinals putting a drive together. Just under 3 minutes to play. They lead by a touchdown. They use their first timeout of the half here. Coweta has used one of their timeouts this half as well. Gotta think if the Cardinals continue to march, they're gonna have to start using those timeouts pretty soon. Good job by the coaching staff that time not to call the timeout until the last second of the play clock, so they were able to eat up a full 25 seconds off the game clock there.
So Collinsville has 1 timeout left. They used 1 in the 3rd quarter. I can't remember what it was, but I know they used 1 in the 3rd quarter, so they have 1 timeout left. Oh, they used it on a dead count. They tried to get a.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. On the punt, they tried to get.
You feeling tired a little bit?
I'm feeling good. And my brain just needed oxygen.
You don't have your usual monster here.
All right, so McElroy has double wideouts on either side. Gonna hand off to Haymaker up the middle. And Haymaker will not have the first down. McElroy trying to get his team on the ball really quickly here. Instead, Coweta will call a timeout. So they're going to stop the clock. Good job by their coaching staff. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go. No doubt about it, the Cardinals are going to punt here and try to pin Coweta deep. And I'm actually glad McElroy's trying to get his team on the ball quickly so he could get in that
quick punt
formation. Well, the last time we did that, we punted for an entire 3 yards. So this will enable us to kind of get in the actual punt formation, which he's had a lot more success punting the ball in. And hopefully we'll be able to kind of pin them deep and make them work a full football field for the touchdown here if they're going to get there.
And Collinsville has been in a close game every single game. It's come down to the last minute in almost every game. So I know Coach Jones is taken about 5 years off his life this season so far. And he's probably going to go bald by the end of the season.
Well, I tell you, the only way that can be, you can find a positive in that is playoff time, because come playoffs you're going to be in tight games and your team's going to be tested in that already. I think that was something last year that the Cardinals didn't have as much experience with, was in tight games. Here we go with McElroy and the punt, and it is a nice one. Bounces at the 10, and Cardinals are going to have an opportunity to down it.
At the 9-yard line, it looks like.
Really good punt there by Zane McElroy. It was unfieldable, and therefore the Cardinals, Cardinal defense will have a lot of field here to protect. And we talked about how Coweta looked a lot better when they were kind of in their own area. They seem to just have a lot more success running the ball. It looked like Wheeler just is literally running on a downhill once he's on the other side of the 50. So Coweta now will have a long way to go.
With 2:39 left on the clock. And do they have 2 timeouts?
1, I believe.
1 timeout.
All right. Fitzsimmons keeps it. He's still on his feet trying to get out of bounds, and T.J. Johnson will force him out. That was a nice run there by Fitzsimmons. He got some good yardage and managed to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
If you're Collinsville, you want to do everything in your power to keep him in bounds, because that keeps the clock rolling, and it usually takes about 20 seconds off the clock.
Instead, it's 2nd and 4. 2:30 on the clock. Wheeler the back. Fitzsimmons in the shotgun. Hands off to Wheeler. Justin Cothe gets hands on him, isn't able to bring him down.
But Draper is.
And Keenan Pretty in on that tackle as well, and this time well within the sidelines, and clock will continue to tick. Good job by Justin Cothe, slowing the play down, and his linebackers able to follow up on the tackle. 3rd down and 6 here. Fitzsimmons in motion. No really wide receivers out there, and he'll be brought down at the 15-yard line
by a gang of Cardinals.
And that's an interesting call. He was looking downfield for a wide receiver. Number 18 was the only person downfield that time. That's Scotty Grant, and he was covered up, and that's an interesting play call to have one wide out in a situation like that. So
they used their last timeout, and that means a stop here should mean, hopefully, knock on wood, no turnover. That should mean that Collinsville will get out of here with a W.
All right, so 4th and 3 for the Coweta Tigers, who are out of timeout. So a first down doesn't even hurt you very badly here because the clock's going to continue to run.
This is the biggest play of the game so far.
Fitzsimmons has 3 wideouts. Looks right. Incomplete. Through the hands there of intended wide receiver number 83, Evan Roniker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. And now the Cardinals will be able to go into their favorite formation, the victory formation here. Is with Coweta with no timeouts, the Cardinals should just be able to take a knee 3 times and call it a game. 1:44 on the clock. And a really, really good job there by the Cardinal defense. It looks like they will run the ball.
Well, with 1:44, they have to get a first down because there's only 25 seconds on the game clock. So that means they have to get 4 downs is a minute, and there's 1:30 left. So they have to get a first down.
Sure. Looked like McElroy got a yard on that run. McElroy gonna run again, stay in bounds, good, just slide here. I don't know, maybe maybe running the ball forces the officials to have to pursue the play, and therefore the placing of the ball takes longer, which makes the play clock take longer to reset. That's my best guess on the reasoning here for running the ball. It looks like Collinsville will take their last timeout, 19 seconds on the clock.
And they will be able to knee the ball now on 3rd down and escape with a victory.
So a really good second half here by the Cardinals, especially the defense, who keeps Coweta out of the end zone this entire second half. The offense plays just as well as they reach the end zone a couple times. All right, so here's victory formation. And that'll be it as the Cardinals improve to 5-2 on the season and have only 1 loss in district play. Coweta will drop to 2-5, and we will take a quick timeout here, and then we will recap the game when we come back.
Drive down Route 66 and see the Meltons.
Well, ain't that something?
It's here, where the entire Melton family changed the negative dealership drama.
Forever.
This is a showroom. Yep, that's a pool table.
These are the salespeople. Yep, there are none.
Unlocked cars? Yep, even on Sundays. Granddad paid off the building. Yep, we sell cars for fun.
Translation, car buying can be a negative experience, so we changed it. You're welcome.
Milton Sales on Route 66 in Claremore. Jump on it.
Can I get a ham and Swiss sandwich with extra cheese, please?
Welcome back to Salif Field, where tonight the Collinsville Cardinals defeated the Coweta Tigers 35-28 in District 5A4 matchup. The Cardinals improved to 5-2 on the season, where Coweta drops to 2-5. A really nice game tonight by Collinsville as they welcome back their senior starting quarterback, Zane McElroy. Logan, how would you assess his performance in his first game back of this season and being in Week 7?
You know, I thought that he was going to be a little rusty, but when he came back and being in Week 7 and not really, I don't know, not running the ball as many times as I thought he was, as he did last season, he played great. He came in and stepped up, and that's what we needed him to do tonight.
I thought that he played really well. One of our fears for him coming into this game was, would he be able to take a hit? How would he respond to taking a hit? And he did a really good job. He didn't seem to be fazed by any of it. So I think that we will dub him as our offensive player of the game. He scored 2 rushing touchdowns, hooked up with Dylan Cook on a 51-yard touchdown pass. And a really good job by the senior quarterback. He's got to feel good coming back in to his home territory here, getting the call tonight as a starting quarterback, and a really good job by Zane McElroy. On the defensive side of the ball, Logan, a lot of players played really well, but who would you say outperformed this evening?
I'd have to say Levi Draper. He really came in, and being a freshman, he doesn't have the expectations that a lot of those linebackers do, but he really plays like he's a junior or senior out there, as all of our linebackers do. But Levi was all over the field tonight. He was in on most tackles, so he played really well tonight.
Yeah, a really good job by the young man. And the defense as a whole, really they gave up 2 touchdowns this evening, whereas the other 2 were on turnover and on a kickoff return for a touchdown. So a good job by the defense as a whole, especially in that second half where they gave up 0 points to the Coweta Tigers. That's going to do it for us here, folks, tonight with Cardinal TV. I'm Casey Price alongside Logan Wilt, along with our other crew members, Leah Johnson, Shelby West, Spencer Beeson, and our director, Kim Myers. We will see you next week right here when the Cardinals take on the East Central Cardinals for another 5A4 district matchup. Until then, good night.